Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea. And today, again, our team just doing a tour de force of getting us incredible conversations. Daniel Kurtz-Phelan was on with Foreign Affairs magazine. I am a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. I don't read Foreign Affairs cover to cover. I'd say I read 3 articles every time it comes out. But I just can't say enough, if you want to keep up with the thought process of foreign affairs and international relations, get a subscription to Foreign Affairs magazine, a physical copy. It's in a larger font. The articles are brilliant. They're just the right length. I can't say enough about what they're doing. We had Douglas Irwin on from Dartmouth about 10 days ago. He's got a just blistering essay on the tariffs. Today we spoke to Jay Bryson, he's chief economist at Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has a 30-year heritage of incredible granularity about the American labor economy. Dr. Bryson was absolutely brilliant about framing out the weekly jobless claims.
Tom, I don't think it gets us that far, but I think you're probably looking at you're probably looking in the 250 to 275 sort of range. If you get up to 300, if we go from, roughly 220 right now up to 300 per week, right, you're getting pretty close to a recession at that point. I think, your 4.4, you're looking at us getting up into the 250 to 275.
And, of course, the backdrop for that was a headline yesterday amid all the Fed stuff about them modeling out this move from 4.1 to 4.4% unemployment. All I can say is if you pull up a Bloomberg, I have this function memorized. I have very few memorized. US URTOT index, and you put it up, and you go back and type in 1947, you can see the huge history of the unemployment rate. And all you need to know is when it goes, it goes. And so here at 4.1, a move to 4.4 would be sobering in terms of the history of that unemployment rate. What a joy to speak to Brian Wieser of Madison Wall. Brian Wieser, expert on advertising and media. We spoke to him. He was just brilliant on his Vancouver and on all going on between Vancouver and Seattle. We followed that up with David Rosenberg of Toronto and Rosenberg Research. Here's David Rosenberg on Ontario and the auto industry.
If the tariffs end up applying, the 25% tariffs apply to the auto sector, it's going to detonate the Ontario economy. But don't think for a second that it's not going to have massive negative spillovers in the United States. It's why I don't believe it's almost like a Cuban Missile Crisis situation. Who's going to blink? But, the rubber meets the road in a lot of the Midwestern states, too, that are red states, causing that amount of dislocation in the auto sector is going to bite really hard in Canada, Ontario in particular, but wide swaths of the United States are going to feel a lot of pain there, too.
David Rosenberg of Rosenberg Research. We'll have much more for you here to finish the month strong and out of the jobs report, of course, in April, first week of April. And that key trade touch, Paul mentioned it today, April 2nd. It seems to be a key tariff day. On your commute across the nation, we say good morning. Good morning, 99.1 FM Washington, 92.9 FM up in Boston. And on YouTube, look to the podcasts. We're on YouTube podcasts. It's a single best idea.